fermented chicken feed. Why I do it, and you should too. Your chickens need 3/4 a pound of food per day. So the way I make my fermented feed is I've already measured how much that Folgers can on the left will hold and how much I need. So I just take this other can and that has the water in it, and I just take it and fill it up. I fill up that Folgers can, and then I come over here and I grab a stir and give it a stir. Just to make sure all the food is wet and moist. And as you can see, these little bubbles, that just tells me everything is fermenting and doing what it needs to do. Now it doesn't really start to ferment until the 3rd day. I do not recommend soaking your feed any more than 2 days, because it seems that on the 3rd and 4th day it begins to get mold and mildew, and the birds, at least mine, seem not to like it. Let's go ahead and get these ladies a snack while I let their feed soak for a minute. I hope you can see, but all the water that was on top of the feed just a few moments ago has been absorbed into the feed, making it almost like a mash type consistency. What I'm gonna do is throw some more dry feed in there to soak it up, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more water just to cover it, and then I'm gonna stir it up. Once I stir it up, I'm gonna give it to the chickens. Did you know you could save 15% or more on your feed bill by fermenting your chicken feed? Now, earlier I said do not soak your feed for more than 3 days. Now, my chickens actually prefer the feed only soaked for a few hours or even 30 minutes. So you may find some differences on your homestead other than what I got. So let's grab the dry feed, dump it in there, and then, like I said, we'll put the water on top. Fermented chicken feed is like yogurt for your chicken. I went ahead and put the dry feed on top. Let's stir it in, and I don't want to make too much of a mess, so this is all I do. I'll just stir it just like this, working the wet in with the dry. Now, as I'm doing this, I want to be semi-quick because I don't want to leave this uncovered. You want to cover this with the water until you're ready to use it. Granted, I'm about to use it here in a minute, but nonetheless, I want to keep it covered with water. The reason you want to keep it covered is so that it doesn't mold or any of that bad stuff. Now let's go ahead and cover this up, and then I'll strain it. as you see, I covered up the mash once again with water. I'm going to go ahead and give it one final stir, and then I'll let it soak for a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and give it to the chicken. The last stage is to go ahead and drain the water off of the mash and feed it to the chickens. Sorry for the light, but that is what fermented feed looks like. And every now and then, I will just drop the container in the bin to let them clean it out. When you're making fermented feed, number one, put away the food in the container. Number two, make sure the feed is covered with water until you use it. And number three, make sure you don't soak it for any longer than 3 days.